So this is going on the Sins of the Father feed. So I need a Misconceptions person to do the hello friends, my name is this, and you're listening to the listening to the Sins of the Father.
Podcast or
podcast.
Sins of the Father?
I don't know, what do we do? Is it Sins of the Father or podcast?
Sins of the Father
I think you say
podcast.
Sins of the Father podcast.
Hello, friends. I ate too many hot chip. Now my mouth burned. This is the Sins of the Father.
That's the opening. There we go.
I'm pretty sure it's with podcast.
We don't say podcast. We just say
no
Sins of the
podcast.
Father.
We no podcast?
Don't.
Okay.
No podcast.
Okay.
Hello, friends. My name is Carrie, and you are listening to the Sins of the Father, not podcast.
Oh my gosh.
It's hard to not say.
It's hard to not say podcast.
Yeah.
Do you want to take it again, or do you want that to be it?
I mean, I'll take it again if you want me to, but I'm also fine with that being it. You want me to take it again, don't you?
Okay, we'll keep it.
Soup. Noodle soup.
Damn it! All right. Well, I know this is normally Jackson's spiel to do, but there are some cross system mechanics that we are going to be implementing in this final encounter. So first of all, just last episode, I asked if you felt that you had a strong connection with somebody and if you had a link with them. Those links are going to come into play. But does anyone feel like they had a strong or emotional connection with someone they didn't do that little tour with, just in these 4 episodes? Somebody from the other podcast. So, Sins of the Father, do you feel like you connected with any Misconceptions players or characters? And Misconceptions characters, do you feel like you connected with any Sins of the Father characters?
And it can't be the ones currently in the spheres.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Because you guys might have connection with Rickett.
Right. Me and Rickett went through a lot about whether I was a trustworthy person or not.
I do not have a connection with Rickett.
Nobody has a connection with Bartosz. I'll just say that now.
I'm going to say no, because
It'd be complicated.
it'd be interesting, but it'd be very complicated.
Okay, yeah.
Bill and Yavalia got baseball.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually going to say that.
So, Bill and Navalia, do you want to take a link on each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and take a link on each other. Avalia has a link on
his
Bill.
credit
Bill
card.
has a link on Avalia.
I think that Esther may have a link with Vartash,
Oh,
just
Okay.
because they're both kind of assholes.
Oh, yeah.
okay. So, Esther?
She has
Bartosz did say
she
he
has
liked
a
that.
Yeah.
little like he's an asshole like me.
Yeah. Okay. Take a link on Vartash. Vartash, do you think that you took a link on Esther?
She was the only beast race when they were in our world.
He did say I
And
like this one, didn't he?
I did say I kind of like this one because you said something.
Okay. Well, do you think that constitutes taking a link?
I mean, as much of a link as he would take.
Okay, go ahead and take a link on Esther. Anyone else feel that they had any strong connections? Any links between podcasts?
I don't know if Evalia would have a link with Faye, but I feel like Faye has a link with Evalia because she genuinely connects to her concern for Rickett.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay.
And hated that she had to, like, get her to come in the car and stuff instead of, like, being able... And she tried to give them ice cream.
She did promise her something, so I think that's kind of a link-worthy thing.
Okay, take a link on Evalia. Evalia, do you reciprocate the link?
Yeah, I think so. I think that reassurance that we will find him was a thing.
Okay, go ahead and take a link on Faye. Any more links before we keep going with mechanics?
Well, I mean, Bill and I are kind of just like the easygoing guys. We're just gonna go with the flow, so that's as good of a link as any.
All right, so Librarian, take a link on Bill. Bill, do you reciprocate the link?
Yeah.
Okay.
He made a portal and I was like, let's make it happen, dude. Let's progress this.
Yeah. All right, take a link on the Librarian.
Do I write down Librarian or do I write... I'm just kidding.
Bartosz is at the point in his story where he's so one-dimensional that it's just like...
Yes. Bartosz is a one-dimensional character till, like, episode 3.
Yeah, he has a lot of growing to do, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think you acted it appropriately.
We will keep you alive.
Yeah.
I make no such promises.
Esther can't keep herself alive.
All right, so that was the link-up move. Whenever you share a, particularly strong connection with another player from another podcast, you get a link on them. And during this combat, you will either be on the city side, using the City of Mist rules, or you will be on the Colvira side, using the D&D rules. So kind of get in your head which side you would like to have landed on. I'd kind of like an even split between the two sides. I'm sure Jackson would too, for balancing purposes.
Yeah. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. But while you are separated from your teammates on the two sides of the veil, you can do a move called Rally Your Allies. And I will send all this to you here in a second. But the Rally Your Allies is your friendship with this person, your connection with this person is so strong that you can pierce through this veil to rally them and encourage them in their fight. On the City of Mist side, you will roll plus your links. So you'll roll 2d6 plus the links you have with that character. On a 10 plus, your rallying cry reaches across dimensions to boost your ally. They gain a d6 inspiration dice that they can add to any attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. The inspiration fades at the start of your next turn. If you roll a 7 through 9, your rallying cry reaches across the dimensions to boost your ally. You grant your ally a d4 inspiration die, just like the 10 plus. And on a 0 through 6, your rallying cry is lost in the folds of time and space and does not reach your ally. In addition, you lose one link with that character. If you have no more links with that character, you instead take a hopeless 1 status. On the D&D side, on your turn, you may spend your action to rally an ally on the city side of the rift. You roll a 1d20 plus the amount of links you have with that character. This roll is not an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw for the purposes of inspiration or similar effects, and cannot be aided or modified in any way. The DC for this check is 12. Success means that you encourage your ally on the other side of the rift, and they gain a temporary status of Encouraged 1. Failure means that you lose one link with that character. If you have no more links with that character, you are stunned until your next turn. So let me copy all that text, and I will send it to y'all in Discord. Also, initiative in this final combat is going to be different, because City of Mist has a very narrative-based combat where you just go in a loosey-goosey cinematic order, and D&D has a very regimented initiative system. So what we are going to be using is the Marvel Heroic Role-Playing initiative system, which is after you go, you choose who goes next, either your ally or your enemy. But the person at the end of initiative gets to choose who goes at the first of initiative. So if you save your enemy to go last, they can pick themselves to go first, and then they can pick their allies to go first. So being strategic and passing it around. For the City of Mist side, there's the fortune teller and the 3 carnival workers that you can pass it to. And on the D&D side, who will be there?
There is a grung elite warrior, 1 grung wildling, and I don't know how many normal grungs, because I don't know how quickly you guys are going to destroy them.
Yeah, we could say all the grungs, the normal grungs, like share an initiative slot.
Yeah, that was going to be like grouped as one. The grungs, and then the wildling is separate, and the elite warriors separate.
I just want to say I greatly appreciate the effort that has been put into this. This is super cool, guys. So you both are very awesome people, and we love you guys.
He's trying to suck up so his character doesn't die.
No, I'm serious.
Any questions before we get into it?
I have a question.
Yee.
Who goes first?
Oh yeah, well, I think first we need to decide which side of the rift did you land on? Are you in the city, or are you in the world of Colvira on the D&D side?
I have a question that might affect this.
Yeah.
So I took links on the Sins of the Father people, right? And I took links on me as a Misconceptions character. What happens if there's like 1 Misconceptions character on with one side and 2 on the other side? So I only would have a link to one of those people across the dimensions.
Yeah.
So then I would would I not be able to activate the links to the others? You know what I mean? Or do I use like the help points kind of, or links I have with them?
You would have to use. You can only use links on people on the other side of the rift. You can't use it if they're on the same side as you.
Got you.
Then Esther and Vartosh need to be on opposite sides. That's the only link.
I think I like Yvalia being on the D&D side just because I feel like her, I mean, the mechanics are different, but I feel like she's stronger with one than the other.
Okay. So Valia's on D&D.
Are we all waiting to see where everybody else is going to go
Well,
that we can then...
I was trying to see where Vartash is going to be.
I don't care. I'll be pretty much this. I think I'll be pretty much the same effectiveness either way.
I'm playing an NPC. I'll go wherever needed.
Honestly, you should probably be on the Misconception side, because otherwise you're going to break our encounter completely.
Perhaps.
I'll be on the D&D side.
Okay, I'll go Misconception side then.
I'll do Misconception side.
It doesn't matter. I'm tempted to do the D&D because I'll have the healing. But to be just blunt, I'm going to slow down gameplay if I'm on D&D side.
Okay.
No, that's understandable.
I also have healing abilities as well, so
Okay.
looks like we won't be without on that side.
Let me say that into the mic. So landing on the Colvira side, the D&D side, we have Yvalia, Esther, and the librarian. And on the city side, we have Faye and Bill and Vartash. Who's going first?
I'm ready to go after the sword guy
Go.
who hurt my hubby.
Go.
Okay, I'm going to do a hit with all of you. Hit with all of you.
I mean, you
With
do
all of
hate
you
him.
guys.
But the title of the movie is Hit With All You've Got.
Yes. And I am in my anger. As soon as the fortune teller stops talking, I am going to just, because he's right in front of me, right?
Mhm.
I am going to use my extendable staff to try to, like, sweep the leg and knock him down. So I'm just going to sprint at him and just, like...
Okay, sounds like you're trying to go toe-to-toe.
Well, fine. Extendable staff, and then I'll just do the +1 for now.
Okay.
I got a 6. We're starting off good, guys.
You got a 6, so you run at this dude, and you swing at him, and he, like, jumps up above your staff and then comes down on you with his scimitars. Roll a face danger against a scorching cut 2 status.
Okay. I'm going to do +0 so I don't repeat tags. I got 5. I'm switching dice.
Okay, so you take a scorching cut 2 status as he comes down across, like, both of your arms with his flaming scimitars and just cuts you across each bicep.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. What do you do? Who do you pass it to?
Question. Can we pass it to the other side?
Yep.
Great.
Anybody in this combat.
Okay. I am going to pass it to Evalia.
Evalia first, looks up, sees Ricket, and yells, "Ricket!" And then flips her lute around and starts to play a not-so-lovely song, Dissonant Whispers. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. So, you said there's how many guys on our side?
There is a grung wildling, a grung elite, and then 3 normal little grungs.
I think I'm gonna go after that elite.
Okay, the elite's the golden frog. He has shiny gold skin.
Fancy. So he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Does a 9 beat it?
No. It's supposed to be a 13.
Okay.
So yeah, she plays this disjunct, kind of creepy, off-tune sound, and focuses as these waves of music start coming off of her lute as she strums faster and faster, and you're not really quite sure how she's moving her hands that fast. He takes 3d6 psychic damage, which is 15.
Wow.
That's 2 6s and a
Right.
3.
That's the person-killing spell, y'all.
That's the one that almost killed the guard that Yavo then stabbed. Any other effects, or is it just the damage?
Yeah, so must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as its speed allows away from you.
Okay, so you're at the entrance, and you play this magical tune, and you see frogs have, like, the reptile ear canal things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see blood pouring out of those as he clutches his head and just screams, "No!" and runs into the corner of the room away from you. How could you? It's just a little... Just a little old...
He's just a little froggy boy.
No, they got Ricket.
He
They
just
got
a little
Ricket.
froggy boy.
They don't get any love or any. I'm not taking it easy on them.
So you already
Oh,
brained
yeah.
one of these dudes.
Already, you hit him hard.
Ivale, who do you pass it to?
I am going to sling it over to Vartosh.
If I wanted to get multiple targets in a line, how many could I get?
I think you could hit 2 people at the same time, depending on how you, like, work it.
Okay. So Faye's dealing with the fire swords guy. I want to hit the metal-jawed woman and the fortune teller.
Okay. I think this is a hit with all you've got. So roll 2d6.
All right.
What are you going to add to it?
I'm going to add acid breath spray and hit targets in a line.
Definitely. Well, a hit with all I've got with a +2.
Whew! That is a 12.
Nice. So you are automatically hitting them with a tier 2 status. and you get to choose two of these options. You take cover or secure a superior position. You get them good or get many of them. You control the collateral damage. You hold the target's attention, or you gain the upper hand and take 1 juice.
Alright, so I will get many of them so I can hit both of them.
Okay, hit many of them so you can hit both of them, and you get one more option.
If I do the gain an upper hand and take a juice, do I just use the juice for one of the change the game things?
Yes.
Okay.
For one of the 7 through 9 options.
Okay. I would like to gain the upper hand and take a juice to create a story tag of acid pool that's just left on the ground.
So go ahead and write down acid pool somewhere so we can remember it. Yeah, you create this acid pool. So you shoot out this plume of acid, and as you shoot towards the iron-jawed woman, she deftly and acrobatically twists and contorts her body in this impossible acrobatic way, and she reduces the effectiveness of your move by 2. So she just deftly dodges out of the way. And then it hits the fortune teller, who starts to scream, much like the grung elite who was just hit just a second ago, and she starts to claw at her melting clothes and skin as the acid starts to eat away at her. Vartash, who do you kick it to?
I'll kick it to the fortune teller.
The fortune teller is going to start shuffling her cards. Could somebody roll a d10 for me?
Got you. 6.
She starts shuffling her cards, and she pulled a card that might come into play later. Fortune teller will pass it to the acrobat Ironjaw. And so as it passes to the acrobat Ironjaw, she has definitely dodged out of the way of your acid breath, and she jumps and grabs onto a rope that's trailing from the top, and she starts pulling herself up with incredible speed and strength up towards the rafters. And she will kick it to Esther.
So Esther's gonna fly up, and she's wanting to use her hand bow to shoot at one of the just average frog guys. That was a natural 1, so that's fun. So a 7.
7 does not hit it. You're not used to your bird-like appendages aside from your wings, and it just throws off your aim, and the shot goes wide and just shatters against one of the walls. Who do you kick it to?
I will kick it to Bill.
Haha. Alright. I'm going to go straight for the tarot card Mystic Lady, because she scares me.
Okay.
What is that? Hit with all you've got?
Well, what are you trying to do?
What did we go to? I'm trying to destroy her.
Okay. If you're trying to wreck her world, I guess this is a hit with all you've got.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. She's up to something, and I don't like it. So I will use Elemental Mastery and Martial Arts to throw a flying, maybe flaming kick her way.
Okay.
All right, so a total of 10. I rolled a 5, a 3, and then plus 2.
All right. So on a 10 plus, you're going to hit her with a status of 2. And you also get to choose 2 options. You take cover, secure a superior position, you get them good, and step it up by 1. You control the collateral damage, you hold the target's attention, or you gain the upper hand.
So I will take a superior position, like I'll maybe kick and then duck behind a nearby option, and then I'll get her good. So it's a 3.
Okay. So you get her good, step it up to a 3, and you're going to take cover. Okay.
So the old kick and roll.
Yeah. So you describe for us what you do. How's this look?
All right. So I run at her. I jump through the air and focus as much as I can on my foot. And kind of feel this intense hatred towards her that I'm forcing myself to feel. My foot catches a blaze and I kick her, and then I land and kind of tumble out of the way, like patting my foot, trying to put the fire out.
Yeah, because Bill is using his powers, his very new powers. So as your foot connects with her jaw, she crumples to the ground, and she sends her tarot cards just flying out from her hands. She thuds to the ground, unconscious, and as her tarot cards flutter to the ground, we see that these are not normal tarot cards. Instead of the normal figures, we see eye stalks of different colors. And the card she was holding and she had drawn flutters to the ground. And since you did not control the collateral damage, Bill, that card that she drew activates. And suddenly, everyone in the room takes a levitating 2 status as she drew a 6 of stalks, and that casts the spell Telekinetic Ray. And all of a sudden, everybody in this room is floating in the air. Well, I guess everyone and everything that isn't nailed down. So the cards are floating in the air, the table and crystal ball are floating in the air, even her unconscious body is floating in the air. And everything is floating. Bill, who do you kick it to?
We'll kick it to the grungs.
Which one? We have the elite, we have the wildling,
group.
and we have the regular grungs.
We'll do the group.
Okay.
The regular grungs.
How high up are you flying right now, Esther?
50 feet.
Okay. So 2 of the grungs are going to very quickly from their standing position leap forward, and one's going to attack Evalia and the other's going to attack Merlin. And then one of them you're going to watch focuses his legs and he jumps with the dagger he has and is then going to throw it at you.
Cool.
They're probably not going to hit anyone.
Fingers crossed.
So the one attacking Evalia rolled a total of 11.
Heh. My armor class is 12.
Okay. The other one is going to attack Merlin, who does not have his mage armor equipped. It's also rolled an 11. Grungs aren't exactly effective warriors.
They're frog goblins. They're froglins.
They're goblins. Yeah, they're
Goblins.
And I don't know what your AC is, Esther, but it's probably higher than a 12.
It is, yeah, it's a 14.
Okay, yeah. So the dagger just flies by.
I just, duck out of the way and watch it.
So then the grungs will kick it to the sharpshooter.
Yeah. Ooh, I like this. Okay, so sharpshooter wheels his rifle around, and he is floating in the air, and he's kind of wobbly, but he lines up a shot perfectly with the table, and he's going to shoot the table and send it spiraling towards Bill, as Bill is floating in the air. So Bill, you'll probably have to do something about that on your turn. But sharpshooter levels a gun, pulls the trigger, and hits the table just right to send it spinning while it is levitating in zero gravity, spinning it towards you, Bill. And sharpshooter will pass it to the grung elite warrior.
Is there a residual check the grung has to make for failing Dissonant Whispers, Marilo?
It's just the one time.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. The grung elite is going to draw his short bow he had on his back and take a shot at Evalia, as she has made an enemy. and the arrow goes flying through the air and hits the wall
Don't tell me this is going to be another cursed combat.
as he stares at you angrily.
You're gonna have to do better than that.
And with that, the wildling will pass it, or the elite will pass it to the wildling, who is going to cast a spell. So you're going to see the wildling reaches into a pouch he has on his side, pulls out what seems to be small little thorns, and they start glowing with magic as he just lets out a breath, goes, and then they all fly through the air and land centered on Evalia, encompassing 20 feet in a circle. The ground itself juts up with spikes and growth as he casts Spike Growth, which is entangling around both Evalia and Merlin. And with that, the wildling will kick it to the Flame Sword.
Yeah, Flame Sword, as they are floating in the space above the ground, takes one sword and looks at the sharpshooter and like chunks his sword at the sharpshooter, like sharp end first. But then as it gets to the sharpshooter, it changes and like a satellite caught in orbit starts to orbit swirling around the sharpshooter. But the Fire Eater does not have one scimitar. He only has one now. And I guess the Fire Eater will shoot it to the librarian.
So the librarian is not going to move. The effect of Spike Growth, since you're also in it, Marlo, is a 20-foot radius, and if you move into it or within the area, it is 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet you travel.
Golly.
Ouch.
Bad juju.
Alright, let's see. So the librarian is going to call out to Evalia and say, "Hey, go get him, Tiger!" And he's going to cast Enlarge.
What?
On Evalia. As
I'm really big.
your size doubles in all dimensions.
Whoa.
You are now considered a large creature for the duration of the
Oh
spell.
my gosh.
Until the spell ends, you have advantage on strength checks and saving throws. And your weapons are enlarged as well, dealing an extra d4 damage.
Wow.
Hey.
This is why we bring Merlin places.
Yeah.
So she's 10'4" And now she weighs 240 pounds.
What does this look like on the City of Mist side? Like, do we see like
Yeah.
Evalia just like
through the folds of like a sheer curtain, you see Evalia just.
It's just the Kamala Khan embiggen, which
Yes.
gets really big.
You get that reference because you play Marvel's Avengers. I'm so happy for
Hey,
you.
that's why I made the reference.
you're the best?
Let's see. So it is a new round, right?
It is a new round.
That's everyone. So Merlin will let's see. He will choose Bill to go first and deal with the table.
Haha. You monster. Alright. So this table is spinning at me.
Yeah.
And since there's no friction, it's spinning in the speed of a bullet hitting it. Alright. So I'm going to take a risk and try to block and then counter-strike the table back towards the marksman.
Yeah.
So I'm going to like pull a knee up in like both of my forearms to try to absorb the blow and then hit the table back with like both of my fists and kind of like swing it down towards the marksman.
Yeah, this is definitely a take the risk.
Yeah. So I'm going to use Risk Taker and Counter Strike.
Definitely.
And let's roll it. Oh. Okay. This is gonna hurt. I rolled a 5 total.
Ooh, okay. So you're gonna take a status of it's like it's gonna hit you full force. So you take a splintered 2 status as like these shards of wood and glass like cut into you. So splintered 2 status. Yeah, and then things get real risky. So I think it hits you and sends you spiraling further up, straight towards the Iron Jaw acrobat, who, like a spider, is hanging in the rafters waiting for you to come to her.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. I will send it over to Faye.
Thank you. Okay. I am going to... So with this being an abandoned carnival area, brush has overgrown.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to use, like, the very... help me. I want to say brusque.
Brush?
Yeah, but like...
I don't know. Last time you said help me, you yelled at me for saying things. So I'm very timid to offer you anything.
You make valid points.
Weeds. What do you want? Cattails.
I didn't know if
Wheat.
Anyways.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, so she's going to use those very tall weeds to... Those are going to extend, and she is going to use her acrobatic mastery. Okay, I'm going to tell you everything I plan to use, and then we'll see how the roll goes.
Yep.
Acrobatic mastery to grab onto that mid-air and hold the weed vine that she has created. And then she is going to extend her staff to, like, shoot out and hit the sword guy and bump into the spider... Not the spider, but the
Iron Jaw acrobat?
Yes, to knock her out.
So you are going to ride... Go with me here. You're going to ride the weed up, and you are going to hit with the extendable staff the swordsman,
Yes.
while the weed pushes you into the iron-jawed acrobat.
No. I'm going to hit the swordsman towards her.
Oh,
knock her.
I see. So like a baseball game, you're going to hit him towards her.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Or like the game with the balls.
Billiards?
And, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, this is kind of crazy.
It is.
God, but I don't want to deal with a stop holding back, so just roll a hit with all you've got.
Okay, I was going to ask to take the risk, but with all you got is great.
Well, take the risk. You know what? Yes, this is a take the risk.
Okay. So, extendable staff, acrobatic mastery, and the more the merrier.
Okay.
So, I rolled an 8, so an 11.
An 11, all right. So you take the risk, and you do what you were wanting to do. So what did you want to do?
Pitch it for the 4th time. So, weeds sprout up from the ground with Faye floating in the air. She grabs a hold of them and starts flying, in a sense, towards the super evil sword guy, and extends her staff almost like an umbrella would like pop out, and so the staff like pops out and hits him right in the direction that he goes, barreling towards the woman with the iron jaw to knock her out from Bill's path.
Yeah, so they collide and go spinning off in a direction as Bill drifts right to where she was waiting for him, safe from harm. Faye, who do you pass it to?
I will pass it to the grung warrior.
Against my better judgment, he's going to draw back his short bow once again and take a shot for the Aarakocra flying in the air.
Wow.
For a dirty 20 to hit.
No.
The dice are on my side. Finally.
Finally, for this crossover episode.
So that's going to be 4 piercing damage. And you have to do a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Poison. Poison for the Aarakocra. Aarakocra's poison.
Poison for the Aarakocra.
Everything surrounding the grungs
Poison for Esther.
is poison.
So I roll it. It's just a d20 plus.
Plus that number, yeah.
You got an 8.
Total?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. This is Esther's life, so it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what system, what world, Esther gets hurt.
And you take another 5 poison damage.
I feel good.
Recoiling from the shot, you look over to the grung as he draws another arrow and just takes his long tongue and lashes it across the arrowhead.
Ooh.
Is Esther okay? If they're level 1 characters,
Yeah.
I feel good.
that was a lot of damage.
Looking rough.
Esther's a beefy level 1 character, but I know what her max hit points was. I don't think she's doing great.
I've done worse.
Well, the elite will kick it over to Esther.
Esther is going to shoot her crossbow at the elite.
Okay. Yeah, he probably deserves it.
No. 10.
No. D&D side's kind of struggling.
I'm gonna use my second wind. I have to roll a d10.
And then you get to add +1 to it.
An 11. But I can only regain up to my max, right?
I believe so, right? So you're back at max?
Yep.
Nice.
That elite warrior's dangerous?
Yes. Yes.
Bitch.
Does he look like a bitch?
I'm gonna kick it to Evalia.
Valia saw Esther take that shot and is not happy about it because that was rude. And thinks for a second and then starts playing a different song. This one sounds plunking and plinking and playful almost. And she plays Fairy Fire. So any object, it's got a 60-foot range, and anything within a 20-foot cube, any enemies are going to be now outlined in a violet light, unless they can pass a Dex saving throw of 13.
You said in a 20-foot cube.
Yes.
Are you trying to get the small guys, the wildling, the elite himself is from you making him run away is off in a corner of the room?
Oh, so they're out. He's outside of a 20-foot range from the others.
Yes, because he had to use his full movement to run away from you.
Yeah, I will get him because he seems like the biggest threat. So as long as he can't pass his Dex save.
What was the DC?
13.
I see.
I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
So he failed.
Yeah, so now any attack against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it. An affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible. I don't know if that helps, but sure.
Nice.
And he sheds this sort of dim violet light now.
He is Sparkly Frog.
And so with the links, those are moves, or is that like a bonus action? I should look at the thing. It probably says, huh?
I think, yeah.
Action.
Yeah.
So I'm going to then use a bonus action to give bardic inspiration to Esther.
Nice.
So I play this sort of like uplifting song after it. It sort of melds from that plinking playful to this like uplifting like ballad focused on Esther and just like, Esther, you got this!
Feeling inspired.
What size is the inspiration dice?
1d6.
Okay.
You can add it to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. This can be done before, after you've rolled, but before you know the outcome. Vartosh hasn't gone yet. I'm gonna kick it over to him.
So we're still floating in the air, right?
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Okay.
There is a
there-
large weed vine through, if you can reach that.
I was gonna say, is there anything I can grab onto nearby?
You could say that you can like bounce off of one of the tent poles. You could try to grab onto the weed. It's narrative, baby. What's near you that you could use?
Okay. So Miss Acrobat Lady grabbed a rope, so I'm gonna kick off a tent pole and reach out and grab another rope.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see the tarot cards where they are?
Yeah, they're all just kind of floating just a few feet above the ground.
Okay. I want to see the one that caused this. Can I tell which one that was?
With your eagle-eyed vision, you can.
Awesome. I'm going to chuck a dagger at that card specifically. In the hopes that destroying the card will end the effect.
I think this is a change the game.
Okay.
Because you're trying to reduce the status of this levitate spell. Is it change the game, or do you think it's take the risk? Because maybe you could stir up some of the tarot cards and like do another effect? What do you think?
You know, honestly, yeah. Take the risk makes sense. Because if I do or if I stir up some of the cards, it might activate some of them. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's roll and take the risk.
Okay. Well, I would like to use acrobatics for my getting into position to grab a rope, and then sneak attack, because that's just how I use my knife.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. So +2. Ooh, that's not bad. Actually, that's really good. 8 + 2 is 10.
That's 10. No ill effects. So you chunk your butterfly knife through the air, and it hits that 6 of stalks, and it nails it to the ground. And that kind of glow that was emanating from the car fades. The rest of the cards start to flutter down to the ground, but then everything else starts to plummet. Vartash, you are holding on to the rope, so your weight suddenly returns to you, but you're holding on to the rope. Bill, I think you were floating up above the rafters, so you start to fall. The Ironjaw and the Swordsman start to fall, and Faye, you were still holding on to the weed, so you did not start to fall. But good job, Vartash. You solved my levitation puzzle.
I'm gonna kick it to the Ironjaw.
Okay. Ironjaw, as she is falling, she will catch one of the rafters and do this acrobatic move to like spin out into the air towards like one of the trapeze cords, and grabs hold of the trapeze cord and pulls herself up. So she is still up in the rafters and not falling. She will kick it to the librarian.
Hello friends, and welcome to the finale, episode 4 of the Sins of the Father and Misconceptions crossover. If you haven't listened to episode 1, be sure to check that out on the Misconceptions page. We had a ton of fun recording these episodes, and are so appreciative of all of you to give us the opportunity to cross over these two podcasts. And it's all thanks to all of you that were generous enough to donate to our Patreon page. We are well on the way to our $500 milestone, where we're going to be able to launch a merch store and give our editors a pay bump. Thank you everyone for your continued support. We also have pre-orders available for your very own poster of the promotional art for this crossover, done by the very talented Arthur Tien. The prints will only cost $20, and pre-orders run through March. For more info, check out the links in the description. I won't keep you any longer. Let's dive into this explosive finale. He is going to conjure some magic, and it's going to split into 3 separate darts that are going to fly towards the 3 normal grungs. Automatically hitting. And the 3 normal grungs are all dead. As he cast Magic Missile.
Yeah, he did.
Nice.
Wow.
These were literally just supposed to be jobbers that took up an action to kill. It was the whole point of these things. There's no allies left. So
Nope.
it's all enemies left.
Yep.
We need to spread ourselves out a little better.
Okay. Jeez, I guess a sword fighter is just like falling. Actually, as they are falling, they're gonna pull the torch out from their hip, hold it up to their lips, and explode this plume of fire towards your weed stash.
Yep.
And it is going to begin to go up in flames as he plummets through the air and cracks down on the ground, taking a oomph 2 status on himself. But he does set that up on fire, and it is very quickly going towards you.
And everybody becomes suddenly very happy.
And then he's going to pass it to the sharpshooter. He is going to shoot the rope that Vartash is holding on to. So he levels the gun, fires, and it hits that cord of rope, and Vartash, you start to fall.
Was the sharpshooter falling as well?
Yeah, but they were not very high up. Like, they started floating up into the air, and then they like took their shot to hit the table towards you, so they just fall like a couple of feet to the ground.
So all 3 of us are falling.
Yes.
Ricket, cast
and-
Featherfall.
No, it's not Venom. That's Featherfall. I kick it to the Wildling to end this turn.
The wildling is going to take a shot at Merlin with the short bow it has.
Well, that boy done messed up. He done makes the worst choice of his life.
I don't know, cause he hit him pretty hard.
No, Merlin!
So he lands a solid shot on Merlin. And that is what happens, because you don't know how much HP he has.
Fair enough.
The wildling is going to kick it to Evalia.
Me.
Yes. Yes.
Is anyone... So, I know that spike growth is a thing still, even though I'm big. Also, I had to correct my weight. I realized it's 8 times your normal weight. So what did I say? 960 or something like that? I'm 960 pounds.
Yeah.
But anyway, so with spike growth, is there anyone near enough to me that I could swing on?
What weapons do you have?
I have a short sword. A rapier. No, short sword. It's a short sword at this point. I haven't gotten the rapier yet.
Is that your only weapon?
Babe. I have a dagger.
You could chuck the dagger to hit the wildling, Other than that, no. The 3 grungs that were close to y'all are dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna chuck a dagger at it. I'm gonna take a page out of Vartosh's book.
Yeah, just chunk a trunk-sized dagger at somebody.
Oh, do the weapons get bigger too?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's like the scene from Ant-Man and the Wasp where he like throws the knife and like Wasp runs along the edge of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 16.
That definitely hits.
That damage. 5. I rolled 2 1s.
Oh my gosh.
That
The,
sucks.
The wildling is not looking great after a knife about the size of it just got thrown at it. It didn't so much stab as it just like flat end just hit him.
And I'm going to use another bonus action to give Bardic Inspiration to Merlin. Not that he needs it. But I might as
feels-
well.
Inspired.
Yeah, so I play this really uplifting tune. I like fling the dagger, yeah, and we start playing again, like, and be like, librarian, you're the best. And then I'm gonna kick it to Esther.
Okay. What bonus did I get from you? Ooh. Again, I forgot.
You got a D6 inspiration?
A D6 that you can add to an attack roll or save or ability skill.
Okay. And the elite is still down there
Yes.
in the wildling. But I've been fighting the elite.
Yeah, you have.
I would like to continue fighting the elite.
Okay.
We'll shoot at him again. That's a 12. And then I can roll a d6.
Yes.
So that's a 15.
A 15 does in fact hit.
Yay!
Fine. Good grief. 4 piercing.
Okay. So that happened. Are you moving? Any bonus action stuff?
I don't think so.
Okay. So who's going next?
I'll kick it to the lockjaw, the iron jaw. Just to get some bad guys out of the way, so we can...
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ironjaw goes. Ironjaw's up in the rafters. I think she scurries along the tight ropes and along the timbers and kind of disappears into the darkness of the upper regions of this tent, kind of waiting for an opportunity to strike. And she will pass it to the Grung Wildling.
Grung Wildling
Wildly. Make my heart.
will use his small little legs to run towards the elite. He is not fast.
Flap, 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 flap.
And he will dash to complete movement. He is now standing next to the Grung elite, and you see arcane magics begin to swirl around his hands as he's reaching out towards the elite.
Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it.
How about the sharpshooter?
Okay. The sharpshooter is going to line up a shot on Faye, but it looks like he is taking very careful aim and precision. Like he doesn't want to just hit you. He's wanting to do something else. Or hit something else that you were holding. And that's his move.
So does he do it,
No, I can't do hard moves. That's not how City Mist works. I'm giving you soft moves to hint at what danger could be coming your way.
Oh, okay.
And then depending on what you roll is what happens.
Okay.
Bill!
Bill.
No, that's
Alright, so I'm falling.
Yeah.
Am I falling next to anybody?
No?
He'd be up above where I would be, I think.
Yeah.
Have I passed the rafters? Can I make a grab for them, or am I underneath them at this point?
You could definitely try to grab him.
I'm going to... I mean, the only thing I really have right now is I'm going to focus on that rafter and try to grab it so I don't take a ton of fall damage.
It'd probably be a face danger.
Yeah, face danger makes sense. Okay. So it's just a face danger plus with a +1.
Okay.
Oh. 9.
Okay. So you grab it, but like the force of you falling kind of hits on your shoulders, and I think you take a twisted shoulder 1 status instead of the oomph 2 status that the sword fire guy took. So you grab hold of that, you take that oomph status. What else do you do?
So that was facing danger, so do I still get another action?
Yeah, because face danger is kind of a very passive move to do.
Okay. Can I see the Iron Jaw, or is she still like hiding up above?
You could roll and investigate to see if you could find her.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
It's probably just gonna have to be a naked investigate.
Okay. Investigate with a +0.
Oof. 4. So I do not
4. Okay.
reckon I find anything.
Yeah, so you pull yourself up and you're like scanning the rafters and the bags of sand and everything up here. And as you do, you hear, all too late, you hear the sound of bare feet rubbing against the grain of wood. And you turn around right as her giant iron jaw clamps down on your shoulder.
Ouch.
Roll another face danger against
Rude.
Broken Bones 3 status.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Sorry, Bill.
So things are rough right now, like splintered and twisted and stuff, and so I'm having to fight through that stuff. So I'm going to use a reason to keep going to kind of mentally push through that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, because I remember talking about not using the same tags over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've used martial arts in a while, so I'm going to go ahead and use that and say that I'm going to use some defensive martial arts techniques to try to avoid or deflect as much damage as I can. So it's a +2.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, God. This app is busted. I rolled the same thing, so that's a 6.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
man.
I rolled a 1 and a 3. Exactly the same.
All right, well, she comes down on that same shoulder that you just twisted, and you step up that twisted shoulder 1 status to a Broken Bones 3 status. As you feel her iron jaws just clench and crunch against your shoulder. Yeah, Broken Bones 3. Who do you pass it to, Bill?
Who still hasn't gone?
We have the Librarian, Vartash, Faye, the Elite Warrior, and the Swordfire.
Pass it to the Librarian. So you kill that wildling.
What do you want of him? Oh, players that are actually on the side?
Take out the wildling.
Take out what you can.
Yeah. Or hit the elite with your big old Merlin staff I know you got.
So you see him conjure up some more magic as it seems to wash over the wildling that is attempting to cast Cure Wounds on the Elite Warrior. And as it reaches out to touch the Elite, it just freezes. And is just stuck in place, and you see its eyes darting around. But it can't seem to move its muscles.
Nice.
As he casts Hold Person.
Nice.
And also with that, he cannot maintain 2 concentration spells so you shrink back to normal size.
I'm not really big anymore.
I will kick it to the sword fighter.
The sword fighter is going to pick themselves up off the ground. Their back aching from the dozens of feet they dropped. And looking up and seeing Faye plummeting towards him, he's going to reach into his mouth, his little fingers into his mouth, and as he straightens his neck and bends his head back, he pulls out another flaming scimitar from his throat and is holding two in each hand and like brandishes them, like the spinning blades of a blender, waiting for Faye. And he's going to kick it to Faye.
So Faye has the sharpshooter aiming at her and the blades of death.
You're going to have to choose who to deal with.
Tie them both up.
Deal with the blades.
Or don't.
You have Jackson and Christian on both your shoulders.
I had a plan. You messed it up.
That's my job.
Okay, I'm gonna go with my original plan.
All right.
So as Faye is falling, she notices the sharpshooter pointing at her, and she sees the blades of death. But there is no winning in this. So I want to burn my extendable staff with a smirk, because she knows that that's what he's trying to get rid of anyways. And I want to throw it, and I don't know if this is logical. I want to throw it in such a way that it like hits the barrel of the gun and it backfires into the sharpshooter.
Interesting. So are you wanting to hurt him or are you wanting to destroy his gun?
Wouldn't both happen?
I guess that's true. Let's roll a go toe-to-toe.
Do you want me to roll even if I'm burning?
Yes. So you're not going to roll, but it's just like what move we're using, and that's going to be the outcome of it.
Okay.
So I said roll, but really I just meant choose. Yeah, I think this is go toe-to-toe. So you're going to hit him with a 10 plus on a go toe-to-toe.
So I'll do the manage to achieve the goal, explode the gun, and then get them good.
Okay, so you're going to give them a status of +3. So, like you said, you throw the staff expertly. It soars through the air. It hits the barrel of the gun right as he goes to shoot the gun. It backfires. The gun explodes. He is kicked back from the blast. He takes a tier 3 status, and he tumbles across the ground and does not get back up.
Gus!
Yeah, he's out.
Nice.
Because he already had a gunshot 2 status on him. But Faye, as you chunk that and you celebrate as you're falling through the air, you notice just in time as he spins both these swords above his head and just comes across you. Take a burning /2 status. Roll a face danger against that.
And I'm not going to add anything because I was too wrapped up in
That's fair.
to be thinking of. I got a 9.
So you take a searing cut 1 status.
Do you want me to add it to my scorched end cut?
Yep. You can kick it to the Elite Warrior or to Vartash. Who do you kick it to?
Elite Warrior.
Okay.
That way you get to go last and first.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just gonna roll a die. He's not winning attacking anyone right now. Why? An arrow is fired at the librarian and hits him.
Whoa.
Oof.
But surprisingly, it doesn't seem like it did very much damage.
Surprisingly.
Because I rolled super low, but it was a crit.
Oh.
I literally, with the longbow, it's a d6. I rolled 2 1s.
That sucks.
So yeah, that's him. So, Vartosh, take it away.
So, as I'm falling, I have hold of part of a rope. What I'm going to do is use sleight of hand to tie a circle and try to hook it on the rafter, and then swing into the swordsman.
Oh, so swashbuckly. Please roll a take the risk.
So, sleight of hand, sneak attack, because he was focused on Faye.
Oh, yeah.
So, +2, take the risk.
And acrobatics?
I'll take it, yeah. Okay.
Take it.
Okay.
This is a super
+3.
dope move.
Whew! That is a 13.
You do it. Yeah, so you're going to plow into this dude unbeknownst to him. What do you do? How's this look? How's it work?
All right, so Vartosh is falling with this rope. He kind of just hooks it, ties a knot really fast, swings it up. It wraps around one of the rafters like a broken piece of metal or something. He swings in real hard with his feet straight out and just bam right into the swordsman's back. And they both kind of clatter to the floor.
Yeah, that's dope. You just nail this dude in the back and y'all both go tumbling across the ground. Vartash, who do you kick it to start it off?
I'm going to kick it to myself. I'm going to try this because I can normally not do it more than once per day, but I'm going to try it. So I fall next to the swordsman. I'm going to, hop to my feet and, grab him by the collar and breathe acid right in his face.
Oh my gosh.
Finish him.
These children are murderers.
I keep forgetting our children.
Go ahead and do that. I will remind you of your weakness tag. Needs time to recharge.
So I'll add that. I'll add acid breath spray to reduce, so that'll negate it. And that's really all I got, I think. I mean, hits target in a line, but it's not really...
You could also straight up burn this tag.
You know what? I'm gonna burn acid breath spray.
Do it.
To do it. So is it an auto success then?
It is an auto success as if you rolled a 10 with the power of 3.
Cool.
And this pretty much sounds like a hit with all you've got. So on a 10 plus, you choose 2 of those. You're already hitting him with a tier 3 status of whatever you want to name this. But then you also get to choose 2 of those.
I'm going to go ahead and power it up to tier 4. And I'm going to control the collateral damage.
Excellent. So you grab this dude, pull him up to your face, and just a plume of acid shoots out of his mouth. We hear from off-screen just a horrendous scream as smoke fills the camera lens. And then Vartash, the camera cuts back to Vartash dropping this smoking corpse to the ground.
It's just a skull with dripping green acid coming out of it.
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
Children. Just want to reiterate.
Children.
Who do you kick it to, Vartash?
There's no one left standing on our side, right?
You have the Ironjaw who is currently eating Bill.
That's right. I'm going to kick it to Bill.
Okay.
Sorry,
All
Bill.
right.
All this cool shit is happening down on the ground, and Bill's like, "Oh my god!"
This is maybe the most hurt Bill's ever been, besides that time in the park when you got me jumped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so as this person is trying to devour me or whatever she's doing, I'm thinking I'm going to have to burn a tag
Okay.
to get her off me. So I'm trying to think of how to do it, because now there's a legitimate kind of fear for my life running through my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't die, because if I die, who takes care of not only the city, but wife, son, who just have no idea kind of where I am or what's going on. So I guess I will burn elemental mastery, because all of these emotions kind of welling up need to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to direct them at her face
Okay.
that is chomping down on my arm.
So you're gonna burn that tag. I think this is a hit with all you've got. You hit with a 10 plus with 3 power. You're gonna hit her with a tier 3 status. What else do you do?
I'm going to step it up and control collateral damage because I'm going to use fire.
Okay.
And I'm trying to scorch her from like the inside out. So I don't want that to spill over into the homies.
Definitely. So describe for us what does this look like? As you do kill this woman.
Okay. So she's clamping down on my shoulder, and I kind of like jam my other hand onto her face, and I just start like yelling. Mm-hmm. Like and as I'm yelling, you see like from the tip of my toes like traveling up my body this like energy that is going to come out of the hand that I latched onto her face. You're just going to see fire like come out of her eye sockets and like engulf her from out of her eyes and mouth. And I mean, I guess she would drop me, but it would be worth it.
She tears away from you in a silent scream as she plummets the dozens of feet down to the ground, already dead before she hits it.
Metal.
All of the carnival baddies are dead.
Well, if they didn't have a link before, Bill and Vartosh now have a link in that they both burned someone's face off.
The magic of friendship.
Yep. Bill, who do you kick it to?
I will kick it to Evalia. You haven't gone yet, right?
Mm-mm.
Could I also kick a link that way, or is it a link of like a full action?
A link is a full action.
Okay, so I'm just going to kick it to Evalia.
Yes. Yes. I still can't move unless I want to take a lot of damage from that spike growth. So, I am...
Actually...
What?
He's incapacitated, so he drops concentration because he is being held with hold person.
True.
Oh. Well, I am going to run across... If I run over there, I can reach him, right? How far away is he?
We will say you can reach him, yes.
I'm going to run over there, pull out my short sword. It's a short sword. It's not a rapier yet. Pull out my short sword and swing on him.
The wildling or the elite?
The wildling.
Okay. That's with advantage because he is incapacitated.
So 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
So damage is 4.
He's dead. As you just stab this helpless grung who has fear in his eyes when you walk up to him. And he can't move.
Oh, man.
Children.
As she swings her sword down on top of his head, she just like, ah!
Splunk.
I bring my sword down all bloodied, covered in this, the blood of this frogman, and I, pull my lute around and with a fist just punch downward on the strings, sword still in hand, and just like, ah! And it's just this loud, like, wah! Sound goes out. It's very inspirational, Esther.
Inspired.
Have you gone yet?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it to you then, since I just was inspiring.
Okay, I am going to shoot at the elite.
Fire away.
Does the elite still have fairy fire on him?
Yes, you have advantage, so roll the d20 twice and take the higher number.
Okay. I rolled a natural 20.
Yes!
Woohoo!
Perfect.
And
10.
So how do you murder this elite?
Yeah.
Yeah!
After a burst of inspiration, I point my hand bow directly at his face, And I shoot, and he just explodes into pink mist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
With the power of the inspiration from Evalia focused around the arrow itself, just magic explosion when you shoot this man. And he just...
Amazing.
Yes.
And with that, I think, David, that combat is over.
It is over. And so as the evil carnival workers are defeated and the grung cultists are defeated, you see that eye stalk that connects to these two orbs in your two realities starts to rescind. And you look at this beholder that has been present through this whole combat. As you see, the different eye stalks that are reaching into different realities are also being rescinded, sent back from whence they came. And you see this beholder start to look around frantically, frothing at the mouth, his eye darting around. And as the final cord is cut, everything fades to white. The 6 of you are standing in a completely white space with a thin, glass-like sheer curtain between the 3 of you. On one side is the city, and on the other side is Colvira. And as you 3 return to step through the veil back to your reality, what do you say to these people that you've met and shared this adventure with?
Faye hugs them all. I assume Ricket.
Oh yeah, Ricket and Mohammed are both standing there, and Ricket is, where are we?
Someplace in between, Ricket.
Makes sense.
Faye goes down the line and gives everyone a hug, forces Vartosh to give her a hug. And then as she hugs Evalia, she whispers, "The librarian is Merlin." And then
Don't you do that.
I won't if you don't want me to. Do you want me to? Do you not want me to?
I don't care. Go for it.
Hey, it's your character.
And so she whispers, "The librarian is Merlin," and then backs to just like stand on the city side.
Evalia looks like, what the hell? Looks over at the librarian like, thanks. Cool.
Esther just looks at the kids and says, "Y'all aren't too bad. Stick together. You'll probably need each other." And then she goes to the city side.
Bill has kind of caught bits and pieces of the struggles of the children. Librarian didn't reveal many struggles because he's this omniscient deity. No, I'm just kidding. But very powerful. But Bill says, I wish you good luck in searching for your father. Fatherhood is a lot more complicated than you may realize at this juncture in your lives. I don't know your fathers, but I will tell you that most fathers would do anything for their children. And then he kind of looks over at Esther and kind of looks back at the kids and says, "Don't give up on them just yet. I think that they're looking after you in their own ways." And he just kind of gives a peace sign and walks off.
Vartosh just kind of endures Faye's hug, and then everyone else just kind of starts to walk away, and he's like, maybe not all humans are worthless. And then starts to walk away.
Did Vartosh just say we're not worthless? She says that to Ricket.
I'm a little overwhelmed.
Mr. Librarian.
Ah, I see. He's going to reach in a pocket and pull out a nice looking bit of parchment and envelope and offer it to the city crew and say, you know, if you ever need my help, I'm just a simple letter away.
Who takes it?
Faye does. Thank you, she says with deep sincerity.
Thanks for everything. I'm gonna teach them about baseball.
Does Mohammed say anything?
Mohammed looks at this weird ragtag group of kids and this giant cow man. I don't know what's going on, but thanks, and have a good one. And walks away.
And as you stand on the opposite sides of your realities, you see the corners of this sheer curtain start to draw close. And I think y'all just kind of stand there looking at each other, smiling, waving. And then the curtains close and the white room fades to black. And we find ourselves on a sidewalk. It's evening. The traffic on the sidewalk is not too heavy, but there's quite a few cars driving by. And we see 3 people walking down the sidewalk, kind of with furtive glances, looking around to make sure nobody's looking at them. And then I think you stutter step for a second. And you just left the bar. You just left Javi. But you all have this very strange feeling of a shared dream that you're not quite sure happened. I think you 3 look at each other, and as you look at each other with quizzical looks, the camera pans down to a letter clutched in Faye's hand. And we cut from that scene to...
So, curtain draws as the 3 of you blink with the intense light that was just shined in your face. As your vision comes back, you see that you are once again surrounded by darkness in a very musty, dank sewer. As off in the distance, you hear...
It was that way. Are you coming?
As you hear Yavo getting closer and closer to the group after forging ahead. As Rickett is not on the ground fainted, like you remember last. Or all 3 of you look at each other very confused because Rickett last remembers fainting and falling into the sewer water, but as you all are looking at each other, you're not soaked in drench and refuse of trudging through the sewers. You seem to be almost clean in your clothing. And then Evalia, on the back of your head, you just hear a familiar voice, but you're not sure where it came from.
The librarian is Merlin.
The librarian is Merlin.
The librarian is who?
Merlin.
Who's Merlin?
Rickett passes out.
He's got to reset back to the way things were at the beginning of the episode.
It's perfect.
Rickett passes out, and the other 2 kind of, jump at that and go to make sure he's okay as the camera goes out of the sewers up to the large Braithwaite library. And you see that the hallway the librarian is walking down is very pristine. As you see, he has a large tome open and is writing down what seems to be some kind of story. And as he reaches the door at the end, he hears 4 young children inside whispering about where are our fathers and where did they go, as he writes in large script, "The End," and closes the book as he opens the door. Oh, hey there! and shuts it behind him.
Say it, Dungeon Daddy.
End of crossover.
Yay!
Woo! Nice.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our Sins of the Father and Misconceptions crossover. Unfortunately, as of right now, we don't have any more episodes for the crossover. If you aren't following the Misconceptions podcast, be sure to check out the links to all of their content in the description. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Sins of the Pod. Don't forget, we also have a Discord channel for the Misconceptions Podcast Network where you can chat about all your favorite shows and anything else nerdy with all of the crew and other friends of the show. If you need to contact us, you can send us an email to misconceptionspod@gmail.com. Sins of the Father is only possible thanks to y'all, so we'd appreciate it if you would spread the word about our show if you enjoy it. If you're feeling especially generous, you can always donate to us through our Patreon page. However you decide to help out, we greatly appreciate it. Sins of the Father is an actual play podcast using the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition role-playing game by Wizards of the Coast. The Sins of the Father theme was composed by Aaron Wharton. You can find more of his work at aaronwharton.net. Sins of the Father is a part of the Misconceptions Podcast Network. That covers it for now, and as always, keep rolling crits.